And her name is Kim Derrick. Kim, welcome to Marriott Speaks.
Thank you. Welcome, Margaret. I'm
Ale
so
amo
glad to be
taba
on
taba
the show
taba taba
today.
taba.
I think
Mi amo mi
this
ele
is just a
mumango
good
kenge
time
wa
to be on the show
obasanedi.
to
O
share
bona moto
information
no
with our
osi na
audience.
kesane
We
mo.
are all
Mi
so
ato na
glad
moto
you are
ele
here
mugango
today
kenge
with us.
ipono emele.
And
Deni
today's
ponda
show
na
is
no wa
very
besi
important.
mo ma.
And she
Ojo
mentioned
lana
my book
nikande.
that I wrote a year
Once
ago,
we kabe
How
no.
We Got
Osi
Over.
akitane
At that
mutande
time,
ama
I was
kambe
pregnant
kabe
with
bo.
primarily
Ojo
with
lana
autism.
nikande. Donde
And
di pesa beto.
had I
O
written the
malate
book this
samongo
year, it
benda.
would have been How
Singile
We Got
moto
Over
moto.
and not be specific to women because right now, as humans, we're all dealing with
Iya sana
COVID-19,
ena
and
ene
as
mumango
people have
kenge
died
iwa
from it.
omba sanedi. Deni
And
ponda
we are
moto
all
no
losing
osi na
someone
kisane
important
mo.
in
Iya
our
sana
lives
mati
right now.
ene mumango
And
kenge
with
ipono
COVID,
emele.
we've
Deni ponda
lost a lot
titi
of
mo wa
people.
besu mo
We've lost
nema.
jobs.
Ojo lana
We've
ungeya.
lost
Ninja
stability.
kulingelete.
And even for
Maboya
some
matensa
persons, their
kulinga.
identity.
Mususu
Because a lot
masinana.
of times our
Ojo lana
identity is
umundi.
shifted
Yosteli
to
ngelete.
new
Boto de
identities.
sonambesa.
And those things tend to cause a lot of stress in families. So this is a good time to not only reference my book, which talked about women's issues, but specifically some of the topics I talked about was parenting, divorce, domestic violence, and these are all critical issues that we're dealing with right now. I mean, parents now have to do things that they never had to do before. They have to be homeschoolers. And so parents are wearing a different hat for the first time, and it's very stressful. And we know that stress is not a good thing.
So before you continue, I'd like you to step back a bit and introduce yourself, tell a little bit about yourself, then you'll come back to answer the question how we got over. So if you're watching the show, don't say this is not for me, I already got over. Just listen. Because my father always told us that when you are opportune to listening to something or being at a place, you're not there for the quantity of the information that you're going to collect. It may be just one word or a way of thinking that you got. That's all what will be worth your while. So I want Kim to step back a bit to give you guys a little bit of history about the work she's done in the trenches to let you know how she got to be in this position to be sharing before you today. And then to expand a little bit on the subject of how we got over. Because I know for a fact that the secret of success in anything we do, it doesn't matter if it is orange or apples. If you take it from A and place it on B, it would work if you understand about the power of what I call turnkey. So I know what and how you got that book written, but I know that those topics are apropos for such a time as this. So take it away, Kim.
Well, I am a graduate of Howard University School of Social Work.
HU?
Yeah, HU in the house.
I didn't know you went to Howard. I did too.
And I've worked in the district primarily for my entire life here. And I've worked with children in child welfare. So I understand I understand the family dynamics and I understand what stress can do in a family and what unemployment could do. And I've also worked with families who have experienced domestic violence, which is an issue that we're dealing with right now. And also parenting, I've done parenting classes. So these are all issues that are relevant for us right now. And it's really, I'm really glad that we can share this and so that some parents can feel a little more comfortable and feel like they're not making any mistakes. And for those who need some more help, hopefully they can get at least one nugget from this show that would help them to feel better about their parenting skills or
So
caregiving,
Kim,
whatever
right?
the
Kim,
issue is.
just hold on. So can you take this moment for those that are parents, and we're going to get to those who lost their jobs as a social worker for over 20 years, even at the federal level and beyond. Can you take a moment now? Some parents are so they're like, I can't have these kids running around this house anymore. I don't know what to do with them. As a social worker, can you speak to that a little bit on how you have dealt with it and what kind of solutions, if any?
Well, some of the things about parenting that is good for any time, but particularly for COVID 19, is that kids need structure. And therefore, we as parents have to give them that structure. We also have to carve out time. We have to be intentional about the time that we spend with our children to make sure that we're giving them good values, that we're listening to them. and we're allowing them to be part of the process. Right now, kids are worried about, just like adults, what is this COVID-19? When can I go back to school? And we need to take time to listen to them, how they feel about the situation, and explain to them what is going on. And right now, most of us don't know what's going on. We're
That's
just
right. That's the
going along
truth.
with the
Yeah.
media. But
Mm-hmm.
that you have to limit how much of the media that you take in, because it can be very depressing and very stressful. So even that we have to curb how much we tell them, how much they look at, and then let them share, let them tell you how they feel, and also set up opportunities for them, because right now they're missing their fellow students,
Their friends and things like that.
and create opportunities for them to keep still be social, but they don't have to be physically social. They can use social media, they can call their friends, they can talk to them. And those are things that would help them to stay connected, so they don't feel like I'm all alone in this. So they know that their friends are also experiencing some of the same issues.
It's really amazing because for the years that I've known you, you're always on the quiet side. I'm the one with the fire. Hey, somebody got to be with the fire. That's it. That's me. But I am so amazed at the knowledge and how deep. I know you've done this work over the years, but I think your work has even become more relevant for such a time as this. Now, let's shift to those who lost their jobs. And I want to ask you maybe a little bit after you talk about that, because a lot of millennials who just got started with this life, they thought it was going to be the way it's going to be. They're now finding that life as they knew it is like poof, right? So can you speak to them? Because they're one of the ones that I'm very much worried about, because the younger ones, their parents can still influence them and stuff. But the millennials or the next gen, the college, they don't know what this is. This is not the picture that they painted for themselves or their parents. What, as a social worker, as experienced as you are, can you please give us some words and tell us what you see in that regard and what they can do going forward, if any? We're just talking. Like you said, we don't have all the answer, but in conversation, we can come up with solutions.
Right. Well, I've been, talking to friends who have millennials, and they're very concerned, and they don't understand where this is going and how it's going to affect them. Particularly if you're graduating in May right now, and then you have 6 months to start paying your student loans, and there are no jobs. So I think, like you said, this is an opportunity for people to become more creative. And you might have graduated with philosophy or communications. And if that is not available to you, now you have to go back to the drawing board and think of what it is that you can do. And there are many other jobs out there, but sometimes we get stuck in, like, I went to school for this, and this is the only thing I can do.
Yes.
But you have to open up your mind, you have to expand, and you have to look for other things. And there's a lot of jobs out there. I've looked at job sites, and there's a lot of things, but you just have to now probably, okay, you did that 4 years, but let me do something else in the meanwhile. Because COVID is going to be gone maybe in the next 6 months. And
amen to that.
I can't wait for it to be gone myself, but you have to think of new ways of looking at things, and becoming an entrepreneur is a great time for that.
And that's what we do, right? It's really, really great. So, Kim, we're going to get ready for a commercial break, but here's what I was going to say. When you talked about people getting stuck on their degree, especially people from diaspora and even elsewhere, they tend to have this mindset that because I went to college to be a doctor or to be a lawyer or to be a pharmacist or whatever have you, I'm going to die being that. And heck no, that's not what it is. Listen to me, everyone, if you can. The essence of education is not so you can go get a good job. It's for you to use it as a leverage in the marketplace. I am an example. And COVID-19 is proving me right. Hey, so in other words, just quit that already. Oh, I have this degree as a social, whatever. I'm going to be a social scientist. Maybe so. But that's not the reason why, if you really think about it. So I challenge you to think about what you're thinking about. It is for you to have the power when you come out in the marketplace to hold your own. And I'm telling you, based on what Kim is saying, and I'm of the same mindset, that this COVID-19 is blown off the lead that most of us have been taught a lie, been lied to, or we lie to ourselves. So guess what you do? is exactly what I'm doing with a new book I have coming out very soon. 11 keys to finding the seed of opportunity in any adversity. Because without adversity, you can't have change. Without change, there will be no change. Without challenge, so don't let me go into my, you know where I'm going with that. So, as Kim is saying, don't sit there and feel sorry for yourself. We want to talk about how do you say, how you got over. That's what I'm telling Kim. Even I will even challenge you to go back and expand your book because this is opportunity. I'm doing that with a couple of my works. So what I'm doing for myself, Kim, and we're going to take this commercial break on census because you guys need to make sure you're counted. If you're not counted, you're losing out. Your education, your student loan or non-student loan or where you live and all this stuff, don't say it doesn't matter. You know, accountants will tell you it's all about numbers. Numbers matter as a human being. So let's not discount that. When we come back after this quick commercial break, Kim, we're going to go back to tying what you just shared with us to the concept of how we got over. Because I have my little 2 cents to add to it. Because if you don't know the how, you're not going to be able to get over. So I want to bring this how we got over to the time that we are experiencing COVID-19. People are sitting and feeling sorry. And I always tell people at the end of this whole thing, 2 kinds of people will emerge. Those that will say, hey, this is what I got to show or do. And those are going to say, wait a minute, what happened? Where do I go from here? You have that choice. So we'll be right back after this commercial break on Margaret Speaks Empowerment Platform. Ma'am?
Hi, my name is Aina Shasval. Family and community are very important to me. That's why today I want to talk to you about the 2020 census and why it's important to help ensure a complete and accurate count of everyone living in the United States, and particularly in our community. Responding to the census helps allocate funding for our schools and public resources such as parks, hospitals, and fire departments. It helps identify where childcare centers are built, where roads are built, where new businesses are open, or how many congressional seats our district gets. The data collected will further affect our nation's ability to ensure equal representation to important governmental and private sector resources for everyone. Responding to the 2020 census allows us to shape our community's future.
Hey, we are back. I was about to Welcome back to Margaret Speaks Empowerment Platform, the Oprah of Africa that I know of. And if you search anywhere in the world, there's none, just me. No competition. I don't compete, I complete things. So we're back again, having a wonderful conversation with a young lady right here that I've known over the years, and she's done a lot of work in the social. You can't be a good social work person if you don't have compassion. Kim is full of compassion. She cares about people. Even in the middle of the night, she's there for folks. So we connect at that level. Everybody has their own platform. So Kim, I want to welcome you back again to this platform, which is a global training, speaking, and coaching platform where ideas come alive. We're here to empower and inspire each and every one of you. That is never too late for a new beginning. Mary Kay was 45 years old when she started. Don't talk yourself out of your destiny. This problem is for you to create a new you. And the new you is available if you're willing to do the work. So Kim, welcome back again to the show. Let's take it back where we start.
So yeah, in life, I as a matter of fact, I had a pastor, a late pastor, T.J. Baltimore, who always said, you're always either going into a situation or coming out of a situation. And I couldn't understand. I'm like, what kind of religion is that? But now that I live my life, I understand what he's saying, because in life there's going to be challenges. But if you don't have challenges, you will never grow. So it's important. And you, as you go through life, there's different challenges that takes you to.
Right. So I'm not sure if Kim is having a glitch. So this is our own form of our own CNN. You know how they say they're going to go into a quick commercial. I'm not going to go into a commercial break until she comes back, but I can talk to you guys about how we got over and what that means to me. So when you talk about how did you get over, it is presumed that something somehow is happened. Now you're wondering how you're going to get over. So bringing that into proper perspective, COVID happened, still happening. The question is, how are you going to get over? There's no, I don't care what kind of lifestyle you have. I don't care who you are. You're going to have a strategic plan on how you're going to get over. Because if you don't have a plan and life hands you a plan, you're not going to like what life gives you. So I would want you to be proactive and active in how you're going to come out at the end of this COVID-19. Not even when it's over, then you try to figure it out. This is the time for strategic thinking. I think, Kim, are we connected back again? Ready?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, I can hear her.
Fill in the gap when you got disconnected. I don't know what happened. Can we hear you okay?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, go ahead. Continue.
Okay. So, like I said, my pastor always said you're always going into something or coming out. So that's the way that the world is. You have to grow, and in order to grow, you have to experience challenges. So
Yes.
this, even with COVID-19, as bad as it is, we're going to come out on the other side. But in
That's
order to
right.
come out on the other side successful, there are things that we need to do. And one of the things I would say in terms of looking at parenting, this is a great opportunity. I know parents are stressed out right now. Oh, I have so much to do. I have my job to do. I have to teach my children. But this is a great opportunity to bond with your child, because
That's
usually
right.
we're running back and forth and we're missing each other. So now is the time that you can really get into your kid's head and understand how they're feeling, what it is that they want to do, how they see life, and you can really make a great impact on them right
That's
now.
right.
It's a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity also for couples and people in relationships, because we're so busy working, we don't have time to connect on a deep level. We're
That's
just
right.
doing things because this is what the world says we should do. But then now we have all this quality time and we need to make good use of it. But unfortunately, according to statistics, that is not what is happening. That's not what we're seeing. So, it's a challenge, but you have to be up for the challenge, because we all want to
Right.
get to the other side.
Right, because without
Financially,
challenge, there won't be
socially.
any change. Yeah.
Right,
It
exactly.
says, so let's go into your book. And then I don't know if you have it to show, or our technician can also share it. The book you wrote, How We Got Over. I know the original intention was for a specific group, but I think that the topic is very relevant right now. Anybody can utilize it. So speak to that and give us some insight on how people can get over anything. I'm a queen of how to get over. I can write how to get over anything in life and it would work. And that's the truth, because I've done it for myself personally. So can you talk to us about that and how anyone that is dealing with a challenge, whether the death of a lost one, how can that be something that can get over successfully, not to minimizing the impact of what they've gone through, but giving them the power to know that they have what it takes to overcome. That when I hear get over, is the power to overcome your previous challenges and turn it around to become a fruit in your life.
Yes, indeed. So, like you said, my book is How We Got Over, Stories of Real Women, Reflections and Solutions. So there's very short stories of women who have overcome things like parenting issues, divorce and separation, domestic violence, and how the book is set up that each person tells their story, but then at the end of the story, they're reflective questions. So you have an opportunity to think of your own story. You can personalize it, because that's the way we learn. We have to really be reflective and introspective in our stories. And then
That's
you
right.
can say, really, wow, that's how that person dealt with it. Oh, my story wasn't like that. And when you look at it that way, it has more meaning. And then the other part that is crucial is that it gives you not only questions, but solutions. And
It's
all
interactive too. It's
Right,
interactive too.
exactly. So it's a workbook and a self-care guide, because then you get to write how did you deal with this story, with this issue,
Exactly.
and what are some of the things that maybe you didn't think about that
That's
you
right.
can now do. And then in the end, at the back, there's a lot of resources that you can call, websites you can go to, so you can get the help you need on each topic. And like I said, right now, the issues we're dealing with is parenting, divorce, because coming out of this situation with COVID, a lot of people are going to find out that maybe they were in the wrong relationship. Maybe this brings on, we don't like to think about that, but
That's
yeah,
true. That they never sat together long enough to know who they really are and who they're married or not married.
exactly.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Or
situations
maybe
like this
even
brings
find
out
out
the
that
truth.
they were or maybe find out that they were soulmates but that whatever conflict they had before was induced by the external stress. But
Right.
now they're able to be together and see that they love each other so much, or find out how they can discuss what their love languages are. There's so much goodness that can come out of this. I just wanted to add my 2 cents to that.
Yeah, indeed. Some couples are going to come out better than they went in.
That's
and that's the
right.
reality.
And
So-
that's what our prayer is for love.
Yes, indeed. And even financially, our pastor preached about this a lot as well, that you are not spending money the way that you were spending it before. You're saving on gas, you're saving on different things. So you should come out better. You shouldn't come out still broke.
Exactly. Yeah.
You should have a
And if you
savings-
find that you're still spending, that's something we can have a different talk on.
A whole
If you're
different
still
topic.
spending more than before or worse than your financial well-being is in jeopardy. Period.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Kim.
Exactly. So now is a great time, like I said, you can do a lot of things, but you have to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Because you don't want this time to pass and then you look back and you're like, what did I do? What did I accomplish? Now it's a good time to be thinking about those things like, can I save more money now?
Yeah.
Can I learn a new skill? Can I get a new hobby? Something that is going to enrich your life and enrich the life of people around you. So this is a great time. And now is May is Mental Health Month, and we cannot overlook that now is a time that if you weren't too concerned about your mental health, now is a good time to think about it, because with stress brings on a lot of issues. Stress leads to domestic violence issues. Stress leads to a lot of poor communication in relationships.
Yeah.
So now is the time to pause and see what are some of the things that you can do to make your life better. Maybe you've been thinking about going and see a therapist for a long time and you were putting it off. Now is a good time to do that. Also, it's even easier to see a therapist because you don't even have, all you need is a phone right now. And you'll be right there, So now is the time for a person to really work on themselves and how they can make their lives better. And it's just coincidence that most of the topics and the things that we're dealing with now just happens to be things that I thought about 1 year ago. And, it's very relevant now as we are going
That's
through
right.
this period, especially like we're dealing with grief and loss. I've known people who have lost more than one family member to COVID. And that is, really sad. So, think about how we deal with grief. It's something that we don't like to talk about. It's something that we don't take too seriously in this part of the world. I know where we come from, some people grieve for at least 30 days. They have a ritual that they go through. Here, we have like 3 days off and you're back to work and you
As if that's it.
all those feelings in a bag and put it in your closet. So now, we have to do a better job of taking care of ourselves. And that's what mental health is all about.
Yeah.
Mental health is about self-care. It's not necessarily going to the nail spa or anything like
Yeah.
that.
And
It's
then
your
connecting
mental
health. But also, Kim, and we're getting close to the point where I'll get back to you so you can share how people can get your book or things of that nature. But more importantly, the people, you have to make sure there is someone you're communicating with, because it's important to have somebody in your life. I don't believe in quantity of people. I know a lot of people, but I constructively choose, because anyone who does not complete you will deplete you. Make sure you're not with negative people who will put you down, who want to tear you down instead of build you up. You see, it's all you need is to encounter with just one right person, one or two. So don't sit by yourself and think nobody loves you, nobody cares about you. Somebody does. First of all, the Lord loved you. For that, there'll be somebody there for you. But Kim, I wanted to piggyback on what you said, and I totally agree that this is the time for people to think about all those things you shared. But I want to push a little bit on that to say that don't just think, do it. A lot of people, they get into what is called paralysis of analysis. They think, and they think themselves away from doing something. Get from thinking. I talked about it in one of my books, how to think. What is it? Think, create, whatever. Think. I've written so many books. Go to Amazon and put my first and last name, Margaret Durecki. I think that one is Think, Act, and Believe and Grow Rich. So most people think, but they don't act. They envision, they don't act. Look for that book. I read it. I've written a lot of books. I can't start telling you not to brag, but to press upon you that there's nothing special about me. What I can do, you can. I just don't let excuses stop me. Fear motivates me to act. I will encourage you to let fear, whatever you're afraid of, whatever the monster is, bury it. It's time for the monster, the boogeyman, gotta go so you can take over your life. So I just wanted to say that in addition to what Kim stated, which is wonderfully stated, you need to go to doing. Somebody said, but I'm afraid of failing, so what? If you've never failed, you've never achieved. Show me somebody who has succeeded in life who never failed. I don't want to meet people who don't have problems. I don't want to meet or talk to people who have nothing to share about how they failed and got up. Because if you have never failed, you cannot have any experience to use to uplift other people. So what's the worst thing that could happen? If you fail, you get up. The problem is not in falling down, but finding creative ways to get up. And what if you made the wrong decision? So what? Who says the decision was wrong? Maybe it didn't pan out the way you thought it was going to be. But nobody really makes the right decision. You make a decision, stick to it, and somewhere along the way, you write that, and then voila, you are right. Hey. But don't just sit there and feel sorry for yourself. Kim, before we go, I would like you to come back and bring your thoughts together, tie it together for those who might have missed us in the beginning. And this forum, on this platform where all we do is empower and encourage. We really need it, especially now. This is the time, I don't care how strong you are, you need others. You need empowerment, you need inspiration. And Margaret Speaks platform is a place to be, the only Afro of Africa. You can follow me, I think it's scrolling down there on my social media, because together we'll succeed. You are me and I'm you, even if you don't know it. So Kim, I want you to take it from here and tell them whatever you want to do to bring this to a close, share how they can contact you and reach out to you or your books or what have you, because your success is mine, my success is you. Pulling you up is pulling myself up. Over to you, Kim.
Yes, I really like the idea of persons just sitting down right now and get a pen and paper and start thinking like, where do I want to be 6 months from now? How do I want to be? And I like to break things down in quadrants, like where do I want to be socially? Where do I want to be financially? Where do I want to be spiritually? You know, how do I want to be a better parent? Do I want to be a better spouse? Write it down and then write the things that need to fill in those gaps. And if you don't have the answers, there are always people that you can ask. And, you know, talk to a pastor is always a good place to start. You know, if you need a social worker, there's social workers a website you can go to. You can go to my website, Rebound and Thrive at reboundandthrive.com. And
don't be
you can
like
get
me now.
I'm getting like you, Margaret. I'm forgetting my notes. And so, you know, like I said, in my book, it is a guide, a self-help guide. And the good thing about it is that the questions are right there. The space is right there. You don't have to go look for paper. You can write your thoughts right there and get it out and really tell yourself that you're going to be better. Make a plan. And it's always good to have an accountability partner, somebody that you can trust.
Right.
Somebody who is not threatened by you being better.
Yes.
You have somebody in your corner that they can encourage you.
That's the key word. Not threatened by you being better.
Yes.
Watch out who your friends are or who you think your friends are.
Yeah.
Kim, if you have any you already shared, I think we're good to go. It's over the half hour that we've been here. I want to thank each and every one of you. But before you leave, I want to give you an encouragement. Her website is reboundandthrive.com. Her book is How We Got Over. I want you to know and be encouraged that this too shall pass. It doesn't matter what was. That was yesterday. Remember, today is even irrelevant because today is gone. Where do you go from here? But any kind of thought without action towards it, just don't worry, build it and they will come. I'm a firm believer that you are the asset and not the money. So you can follow me on any of the social media that you can see there, or you can email me at margaret@margaretspeak.com. You can go to jazzpublishing.com for all my publications, or go to amazon.com, put Margaret Dureke, Dureke. But remember, I am the official ambassador, Dr. Margaret. Yes, yeah. All right. And until next time, everyone, I want to salute you, be grateful, be thankful because you made it to today. So what else do you need to be grateful for? Once you have your life, anything is possible. No time limit can stop you. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic Friday. I'm on to my happy hour right here in my domain. I'm going to be grateful and thanking God. Until next time, go to margaretspeaks.com to book me or whatever you want to do. I'm available to serve and I'm capable, of course. Have a good one and God bless.
Thank you. I just want to say one last thing is that this is
Go ahead. You can kill me.
Older Americans Month. Reach out to an elderly person, give them a call, drop off some food on their patio, but just do something kind for an elderly person this month. Thank you so much, Dr. Reki. God bless.
God bless you. Take care.
Take care.